Good evening, guys, and happy Wednesday to all of your sunshiny faces. I forgot what today was. It is Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, guys. I'm gonna say Wednesday one more time because why not? I ended up actually woke up early today. I was super excited about that. I went to bed early though last night, and tonight is actually just a little after midnight, so I'm going to bed later. But that was because, guys, I got stuck doing a whole bunch of random like quizzes on like BuzzFeed and stuff. I was taking especially the Disney quizzes. And guys, I was a little bit upset because there were some that I was pretty sure I got the answer correct on and still got them wrong. And then I know it's bad. So when you're such a like Disney snob and you are like, no, that answer was definitely right, you look it up on Google and you're like, I was right. I was just a little upset. Like, make sure you get your answers right. So yeah, anyways, I saw a lot of other people sometimes posting that in the comments too. They were like, how come this stuff wasn't accepted as correct answers, or, you know, this thing or whatever. I don't know how I ended up doing that though for like a stinking hour right now. I was like, I need to be in bed already. It was good. I went to bed early last night. Now tonight I'm going to bed a little later. Like, actually, I don't know though. I feel like because I watched the Cubs game last night, I feel like it ended around the same time as tonight's game did, and I stayed up to watch the post-game show last night, which was like around 11 o'clock, I think, and it was the same with tonight. Like, and so I was like, well, it's only about an hour or so like extra that I stayed up tonight than I did last night, but I don't know why it feels way later. Maybe that's because I woke up actually early today. But because I woke up so early today, I actually got a lot of stuff done, sort of. I feel like I got a ton of editing. Well, not a ton. I edited 2 vlogs. I uploaded 4 of them because I have a ton like on my computer right now that I just need to upload. That's like the bigger thing actually. And I need to make sure that I get room on there, so that's why I'm needing to upload right now. So I've been going through and trying to make sure that I get that stuff done so that I have room so I can save videos to actually edit them. But that is one of the big things, like I said, right now that I'm needing to get to, is actually uploading before I can really do a lot of editing. So I actually edited 2 earlier today while I was in between sort of watching my TV shows. Told you guys too, I was like going back and like figuring out some older TV shows that I've been wanting to watch, like series and stuff like that. Because like, I think I told you guys too, like I've seen like episodes of like I Love Lucy or Brady Bunch and even Full House. Like, I've seen a lot of Full House, but I've never watched it really like sort of in chronological order. So like sometimes I'm a little confused. I'm like, oh, like I don't even know like when this is from or something like that, or like, oh, this thing is happening, but like I can tell you like the generalized sort of maybe events and things like that happened in some of the like seasons or whatever. But like Friends, I've watched pretty much from like the beginning to the end, so like most seasons I could actually tell you like this stuff is what happened in the first season and this is what happened in the second. And the same with Everybody Loves Raymond too, just because I've seen a ton of that. And I think I probably have maybe watched that. I don't know though. I don't know if I have watched it all the way through from the beginning to end. But we had like the first 2 seasons on disc, or like, you know, the DVD set, and then I got the gigantic one, which I did clean up a little over here too today, guys. But I got that one, the big one, for Christmas. And then I also got Psych and Friends this year, and last year I got Monk for Christmas. So a lot of my like sort of favorite series that I watch a lot. And like on top of that too, it's weird because stuff hops around so often from like, oh, it's on Netflix and now it's on Hulu and now it's on Amazon Prime, and you know, then, you know, like a lot of streaming services on top of that too now have their own private, you know, streaming services. So it's like, oh, The Office, that's on Peacock, which I don't know if you can watch the whole thing for free, but Peacock does have a free subscription and then also a paid for subscription. So like my mom watches some stuff on there, but sometimes you only get like 1 or 2 episodes and then you have to pay after that for like the premium sort of. So I don't know what it is like with that. But that was obviously, like I said, on Netflix for years, and then was off. But like Parks and Rec that was on Netflix a long time ago. I watched it. Then I think it was over on Amazon Prime, maybe. I watched that, and now it's, I think, on Peacock. So like I said, there's a lot of stuff, like Disney Plus too, now that they have their own streaming service. There's some, you know, series and things like that that I don't really know what I've seen though that's already on there. A lot of that is like all the old throwbacks to like Disney Channel. But I actually like to watch some of the National Geographic that they have on there, which is honestly, guys, weirdly enough, one of the only things that I watched on Disney Plus other than like Marvel stuff, which we watch normally together, like as a family. Like we went back through this last summer, I think, and rewatched sort of everything. And so that's been the only stuff that I've actually watched off Disney Plus, and I watched Sound of Music recently. But other than that, I haven't really watched any other like series or anything like that. There's been some stuff that, again, I've been interested in. Like I really like watching like the stuff about like ancient Egypt and like different, you know, ancient civilizations too. That's a big one that I watch from like their National Geographic part of the, you know, subscription or whatever. But there's not a lot else that I've really watched on Disney Plus. Like I know The Simpsons on there, but I again, that's another thing, like I've watched some episodes, but I've never really watched the whole thing. And I've probably watched Family Guy more than The Simpsons. Anyways, one of the things, like I was saying, that now that I'm trying to watch older like TV shows and stuff like that, is that, you know, I like to have a lot of the ones that I really do love actually on DVD, because if I'm ever like, oh, I really want to go back and watch those or whatever, I can, and then not have to be like, oh, we don't have a subscription to that service that it's on currently or whatever. And so, you know, like I said, I don't know that Friends is actually on anything. Maybe it's actually on HBO. But see, it's weird though. We're subscribed to HBO through our cable provider, but I think HBO and HBO Max, which is their subscription service, is actually two different things. I'm not even sure that you can actually watch the same stuff through there. And I was like, we pay a lot for HBO to then also have the same things that we would be getting if we got the subscription service. So I don't know. On top of that too, guys, now that like a lot of like, the other thing too that I really want to get is the Discovery Plus. That was one of the huge reasons though why I didn't want to get rid of cable, was because I do also watch a lot of stuff off there, which is a good portion of like the history stuff too, but also like TLC and like all of those, like, and Animal Planet, which I don't like that much. I actually don't like to watch animal like documentaries all that often, but like some of those I'm just like, if I ever wanted to watch it, like I, you know, especially again, they do have, I think, I don't know if they have the Science, oh yeah, Science Channel is, I think, through Discovery as well. But like I said, some of those I was like, I can't give up watching that. So now that they actually do have their own subscription service, I was like, you know what, I sort of want to do the math and figure out if it is cheaper to keep cable or if it's cheaper to go with a subscription service. The other thing I am terrified about is sports. You guys know I watch sports every single day, and so if we didn't have it, how would we go about watching a lot of our sports channels as well? Like I know the Marquee Sports Network, I don't know if they have their own private like subscription service, because it's also so new as well. And so like I'd be really concerned about not being able to watch like any Cubs games at all. So yeah, anyways, but I don't know too, like, okay, if you get like the MLB like app or whatever, can you still stream all of those at the same time? Like that's one thing that terrifies me, is like, okay, yes, we do wind up getting rid of like cable, and then we can't actually watch all the stuff that we really do want to still be able to watch. So it is something to look into, but I'm sort of wondering, like, is cable just really expensive, and could we actually wind up paying for just the subscription service, especially if you go with a year subscription instead of the monthly, because a lot of times if you do it for a year, that way you're kind of hooked. But it's also like cheaper than if you figure per month, like sort of the way we did with the CVS Care, or whatever it's called, Care Plus or Care something. I think it's $5, like $4.99 a month, but you get the $10 extra buck, right? So you're making money. But if you do it for the whole year, I think it's only like $3.99 or something like that. So we actually make $6 a month. because you get that $10 extra buck still. So like I was saying, it's like, you know, for actually paying for the whole year up front, you actually wind up getting more, or you wind up paying less, and just having to actually pay it the full time, all for 1 year. I do think that in some cases that sort of makes sense, but at the same time too, it's a little scary because you're like, you need to figure out though, either have things spaced out sporadically, so it's not like, okay, my 1 year subscription to everything that I wind up getting, you know, if you're subscribed to multiple services, you have to pay for all of them all at one time. That would stink. And then it's like, oh, $800 for the entire year. I don't have that money. We're gonna have to not pay for some of these, you know, or whatever. So but like I said, I feel like it is probably cheaper than cable because I'm pretty sure that my parents spend a lot of money on that. And on top of it too, though, we do have a lot of the subscription services anyway. We have Hulu, Disney Plus, Netflix, Amazon Prime, which we use for our Amazon, you know, Prime basically, but Amazon Prime Video. And like I said, a handful of other stuff like that as well. I'm sort of wondering then again if it is worth it. But like I know even too, like for the NFL, like for Red Zone, I think it's like $100 or something for the entire year. And there's only football so many like months out of the year, so you're actually paying for something that you're not going to be using for a couple months. But like to me that seems sort of expensive. Like instead of it being like $60 for the year, which is, you know, like $5 a month, and some also are cheaper than that too. But we also, I think, have ESPN Plus because my dad got it for the fights, and also because I watch UFC a lot, because I honestly don't know. I know that Disney Plus had a bundle where if you did Hulu, ESPN Plus and Disney Plus all together, you get them cheaper. I think Matthew actually is the one that has Hulu, and then my dad has like Disney Plus and ESPN Plus as well. Or maybe that's not right, I'm not totally sure. But something like that, I think, or Matthew signed up for it or something like that, but it's all separate. We're not actually paying for it together like in the bundle. Like when Disney Plus first came out, it was for a bundle deal. I don't know if they still have that, but actually they might. But yeah, I think we pay for everything all individually, which I was like, if you guys bundled, you'd be saving more money instead of all of it being individually priced. So yeah, but like I said, the one thing I'm most scared about is really sports, because that's the one thing that I watch religiously every night. I watch the Cubs with their like crazy, I think 14 runs today, and I watched the Hawks come back from being down 3 and came back to actually win it in OT, which was amazing, because them and the Bulls right now are in a playoff hunt, but the Bulls ended up losing. All 3 of those games are on tonight, and I watched all of them, flipping the different channels. So yeah, anyways guys, I need to take a shower and get to bed. I actually don't really know what I was planning on talking to you guys about today. I was trying to tell you guys how while I was watching my I Love Lucy, that I was actually also editing today, and so yeah, I was doing that. But I've been, like I said, really into lately like wanting to watch older TV shows that like I haven't seen, or have only like, again, watched some episodes of, and then like, you know, so I can just be like, oh, I've seen that, I've seen all of them. And on top of that too guys, like I Love Lucy, I was telling you guys I think in one of the other vlogs, but it's just so funny though how, to me, almost like the plot points to almost all of those episodes in some way are very similar to like modern day like television, like sitcoms especially, but the plot is reused. It's like to this day in a lot of that same stuff. So like even though it's, you know, jazzed up maybe a little bit more for modern day, and maybe more, you know, again, modern day jokes are added to it, it's literally a lot of the stuff is the exact same plot that was happening, you know, that was in the 50s, so that's actually 70 years ago, you know, and the humor from then is literally what still carries over in today's television, which is really cool. And that's why, again, I really like history, and that is a huge thing too. And I really like pop culture, and, you know, like especially like American pop culture, which is really in music and television, all that kind of stuff. To me, that's just really interesting. So to go through and actually watch like old TV shows and again compare them to like modern day television is also really cool, because you're like, wow, that that, you know, again, that joke was literally something that still is used to this day, or, you know, that, you know, sort of scene or whatever, or plots to that episode is still used in today's television is so cool to see. So, you know, and also on top of that too, like music, like there's music that is still to this day like remixed from things that, you know, were again 30, you know, back in the 30s, and that's 90 years ago to today, and so, and a lot of that stuff is still, you know, like I said, even though it's totally like different, there's rap mixed into it now and stuff like that, especially compared to like the old songs, you know, like jazz and stuff like that. A lot of songs that are still sort of, you know, reused even to today, which is also really cool. So like I said, I'm just a total nerd when it comes to that history stuff and things like that. So anyways guys, yeah, I'm gonna take a shower and get to bed. I'll see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.